We're taking a trip around the AFC South here on Action Sports Jax Prime Time. We'll do one team at a time, and let's begin with the team that had the best year in 2019. That is the Tennessee Titans, went all the way to the AFC Championship game on the back of Derrick Henry, guys. Does Derrick Henry do it again will be the big question in 2020. He had an outstanding second half of the season, and of course the playoff run was ridiculous. Was that his coming out party, Hicken? Is he the new star in the NFL in the running back room?
I think he can be. I think Tennessee finally figured him out, and Derrick Henry's one of those few cats, man. The more you give him the ball, the better he gets. And if I got that guy running the ball, I'm going to run him to death. I'm paying him a lot of money. He's franchised this year. I'm going to give him the ball 30 times a game. That's when he gets most effective. Even if you think back to the playoffs, how he wore down New England, he wore down Baltimore. I think if you give Derrick Henry the ball and he stays healthy and you give him the ball 350 times this year, he's going to run for 1,700 yards.
I think the question will be around this football team, the Tennessee Titans. Is it a little Milli Vanilli? Is it a one-hit wonder?
Yeah.
Milli Vanilli, was that a good reference or no?
That's good.
Solid.
Okay.
That's good.
Thanks. If you got a one-hit wonder, we can go there too. But Marcel, do you believe in Tennessee? Have they built something, or are they like the 2017 to 2018 Jags, the 2018 to 2019 Chicago Bears? That could be the Titans this year too.
I don't know if I would say I fully believe in Tennessee. I mean, I believe in Derrick Henry. I think, like Dan said, what you see is what you get. I mean, the guy's going to go out there and do what he does. But truthfully, I don't know if I'm on board with this the Ryan Tannehill train. I mean, obviously he had the games he played last year, he played pretty well. But I mean, who's to say he's not going to come in there and just bomb next year? I mean, I don't expect him to be the worst quarterback in the AFC South, of course. But I mean, the guy is kind of, what you see is what you get out of him too. I mean, we've seen him underperform in Miami for years after getting chance after chance. And Tennessee, they've got a pretty decent roster. And of course, when you have Derrick Henry behind him, you always have a chance. But I don't think I'm sold on Tennessee. I think we're looking at, a 7-9, 8-8 team that comes up as what most people consider a disappointment, because I think a lot of people are picking them to actually win the South, if not for the Colts.
Stuart Weber, let's bring you in, and that's an interesting point Marcel made. It's how much do you believe in Ryan Tannehill, or is this team just that physical presence that rode Derrick Henry? What's your belief level in Tannehill after he got the 4-year extension?
I think if they use him the way they pay him, they're going to be in trouble. I think they need to continue to use him the way they used him last year. You're paying him right now like he's this great quarterback, and he was great for their system last year. He certainly knew how to hand that ball to Derrick Henry and did that a lot and with great success. But if you start to treat him like the major money earning quarterbacks all across the league who can throw it at will to the end zone and are able to control the offense, I don't know. I think you need to stick with what got you there. And I think Mike Vrabel will. I think he learned pretty quickly on the job that, okay, this is working. Let's keep doing this. And you never know. Maybe they go to Tannehill, but if they do, I think that their performance will struggle.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Dan, we'll bring you back in here. Mike Vrabel, you got to give him credit, because if there's a guy that last year got the most out of his football team, out of his roster, out of what they were, I would think it would be him. And that's a little bit of Tennessee, isn't it? Even Lamar Jackson recently said, yeah, we kind of overlooked him. Now, I'm not sure I believe that, but they just don't look sexy on film. They don't look dynamic, and then they come in there and they run you over. They are the one team in the AFC South that has a true identity, right?
Yeah, and I hate them, but I'll tell you this. One thing about Tannehill, too, he had the best quarterback rating in the NFL last year during the regular season. I agree with all what everybody's saying. Like, I don't know how – they were in a tough spot because you can't let them walk. But they paid him big-time money. What we made fun of what we paid Blake Bortles. They went and paid him franchise quarterback money, so they expect him to be really good. And he was really good last year, and he wasn't as bad as people thought in Miami. His numbers were pretty good. It's just he was on some bad teams. So that's the big curious factor. As for Vrabel, any coach that can get under Bill Belichick's skin is a pretty good coach, and he did that with the punt, remember, in the playoffs, and he ran the clock down and drove, and Belichick was furious. He pulled a Belichick on Belichick. So if you can do that, you're okay by me. So I'd be curious to see. I think he's a good coach. I think Tennessee, they're going to be an intriguing team. Casey left, right? He's gone. So they got rid of him. So it's going to be they're a unique team. And I think probably they're the third best team in the South. How about that?
How about that? It's interesting. It's hard. And I'm guilty of this. I never respect Tennessee probably the way
you
I
hate them. You don't ever think they're any good.
I don't, and I still don't, but they beat you up. I will say this. It's interesting. All the teams in the AFC South needed help at cornerback, and they got Christian Fulton kind of fell into the lap, the kid out of LSU. That was nice value where they got him, I think, in the second round. So Tennessee does get some help, but nobody's passing attack is super dangerous. Maybe the Colts because of Phillip Rivers and what they have now added. But you even think of them as a running team. So it's an interesting dynamic in the AFC South. Dan, you just kind of answered the question. Where do you think Tennessee fits in the AFC South puzzle? Let's end with that. Stuart, go ahead.
I think they end where they ended last year. I know Dan just said that he thinks they're the third best team, but like he also said, they have an identity. And I think with all this uncertainty in the offseason and no time to really install these new ideas, I think the team that carries over what they did last year is going to have a leg up on the other team. So not having to put in a new quarterback like the Colts, not losing your best offensive weapon like the Texans, and not getting an entirely new offensive coordinator like the Jaguars, I think that's going to benefit Tennessee and give them the leg up.
Yeah, it's pretty logical. What do you say, Marcel?
I think I'm still going to stick with the 7, 9, 8, and 8, but I think that might be good enough to get them into second in the AFC South. I think with obviously with Derrick Henry doing his thing, and I think we're going to see another step from A.J. Brown, who's been pretty solid while he's been up there. But I think I'm going to put them in second, but not like a sexy second. We're not talking about a high win contention, just sort of like a consolation second place.
Dan, you said third. I mean, is that a disappointing season third, like 6 and 10?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think, and I think it'll be, I hate to say it, I think it'll be really good competition between the other three, and I think the Jags will have to try and play spoiler as best they can towards the end. The one positive, if there's any positive of Corona, then we're not allowed to travel. At least I don't have to go to the House of Horrors and watch Jacksonville get whacked again.
Very true. As we wrap this up, I'll answer the question as well. I think they fit in around second. I see them as 8 and 8 and 9 and 7 team. We'll get to who I think will win a little bit later on when we do continue this series. But Tennessee, I see as still a solid football team. I just don't see them taking that next big step. And I think the curiosity is interesting around Derrick Henry now. This is a huge year. He got franchise tagged. He's due a ton of money if he could have another big season. But does he stay durable? He's getting beat up a lot of carries now in his career from high school to college to the pros. Keep an eye on Derrick Henry. We're rooting for him, even if we don't like the Tennessee Titans, just because he's a Northeast Florida guy. That's a look at the Tennessee Titans around the AFC South on Action Sports Jax Primetime.
Action Sports Jax Primetime, Saturday at 10:30 on Fox 30.